Okay, so you know how I talked about how underwhelming SP Mathew was in the two videos I made on him? Well, it turns out that this guy is actually pretty busted. I'm not gonna go over his kits since I've already talked about them like twice, but basically all you need to know about him is that he has very high attack as long as he has allies that are alive, and is much more capable as an AoE attacker. But if you want to know more about him, then feel free to check out those two videos I've already made on him. Now, I know you guys are probably wondering why SP Mathew is all of a sudden great now. And if you take a look at the PvP tier list here, yeah, that's crazy. Now to the main reason on why he is actually really good. In CN, the Apex meta is mainly all about rushing, and for us global players, we are starting to get into that point. With SP Mathew, he can provide mobility buff and give increased attack and int with the sprint skill, and he is capable of moving quite far actually with the mechanical cavalry soldiers and with the strike skill. Not only that, he has this AoE skill that not only reduces the enemy's attack and int, but also prevents them from receiving any buffs that will also dispel 2 buffs on them as well. And that's really useful against opponents like Epsilon and Jintoki, and those two characters rely on their buffs a lot. And is also why they're great characters to use in the first place. So yeah, Sprint, Strike, and his new AoE skill are more likely going to be his go-to skills, but there are many things to consider when using SP Mathew. First off, you'll have to ban healers that are going to be a problem like Rosencio and Liana right off the gate if your opponent has one, because the debuffs on the AoE skill can easily be dispelled. Also, it does only last for 2 turns that has a 5-turn cooldown, so you aren't going to be able to easily stay consistent with it unless you're running clock. You're going to want the balance blade as well because the range on it is just terrible. And I'm also pretty certain that it will also increase the range when he uses the sprint skill as well. But most of the time, just be sure you have someone who can follow up right after him to be able to overwhelm your opponents so that you're making good use of the debuffs on the enemies while they still have it. So yeah, with that kind of playstyle, SP Mathew is going to be really great in the rush box. Unless you do something like Strike and Shadow Raid in a more regular box, but that's probably something you can do, but I haven't really seen anyone do that since most of the CN players are mostly going all tankless. Oh, and did I mention that he can teleport? It's on his talent, but pretty much what it does is that he can teleport back to the original position that he was in before attacking. Kinda similar to how Omega talent works. However, it does have a cooldown before he can use it again. Man, I can't believe we all really doubted SP Mathew, and now look at him. Literally, the reason most people thought that he was gonna be straight up trash is because when his info was leaked, on paper it looked terrible, like straight up underwhelming. Like honestly, I was actually more excited about the new Lucretia more than him, and her kits are much more annoying to use. I'll say if it were me making SP Mathew, I would make it to where right after he uses an attacking skill, that skill would automatically be cooldown when he teleports. Like let's say he uses Strike and then his AoE. When he teleports back, his AoE would automatically be cooldown, but his Strike skill would not since he already used it on his first turn. I don't think that this would be a bad idea since he's not going to be teleporting all the time. First 3C, I feel like it's one of the worst ones out there. If they maybe worked on it a bit, like let him act again with it, but I never really expected them to do any changes with it anyways. Even Egbert 3C is almost the same, but much better since Egbert's clone can actually teleport him and then he can follow up with an AoE attack. But that's just my opinion on SP Mathew. I would like to know down in the comments what you guys think about him. Do you guys like the way that he is right now, or do you guys think that he could be just a bit better? Anyways though, that's all I got for you guys. I know it was a short one, but I just want to make things more clearer on SP Mathew since a lot of people were really doubting him, myself included. But if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and yeah, thanks for watching. Your fellow Z.